Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Cooking for the Family. I'm Dyvonne and today I'm going to share with you how I make my cheesy broccoli rice casserole. I'm going to show you step by step how to make this wonderful side dish. You ready? Let's get started. So first what we're going to do is we have 6 cups of fresh broccoli and I have my nice pot of boiling water and I went on and I just put it in there. We're only going to let our broccoli cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, okay, just so it's like nice and bright green, and that won't take too long. So you just want to do it for just a little while. We don't want to overcook our broccoli because the broccoli will finish cooking when it's all part of the casserole. So I've drained it and strained it and it's in here and it's just going to cool while we go on and get the rest of our ingredients together for our casserole. So we're going to be using a white onion. And you can use either a white onion or a yellow onion. If you're using a yellow onion, not a sweet onion, just a regular yellow onion. And we're going to need 1 cup of nice finely chopped onion. And I had a really big white onion, and this onion, I only need about a third of this onion, but you want to have 1 cup of finely chopped white onion. And when I say finely chopped, you're looking at the size, say maybe of the size of a pea or a size of a kernel of corn. No bigger than that, but about half that size usually will do you. Okay, we don't want big chunks of onion in our casserole. So once we have our onion chopped, I'm going to set that aside, and then we're going to be working on our garlic, and we're going to be using 3 cloves of fresh garlic. Now if your garlic is kind of small, go on and use 4 cloves. Also, if your garlic cloves are more on the larger side of garlic cloves, then 2 cloves should do you, okay? And we're going to do a nice mince of our garlic as well. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returner, welcome back. And I want to thank you all so much for your wonderful likes, your shares, your subscribes, and your wonderful comments. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to hit that subscribe button and become one of my wonderful subscribers. Now, once we have all of our garlic chopped up, we're going to go on and start building our casserole. So in my pan, I have 2 tablespoons of butter. And then to that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, okay? And so now once we do that, we're going to add in our 1 cup of chopped onions, and we're going to saute our onions. My flame is on a medium to low flame, and so we just want to go on and saute the onions on a medium to low flame. We're not trying to caramelize the onions at all because we don't want that flavor coming through in our casserole, but you may end up with a little bit of brown bits here and there with your onion, and that's perfectly fine, but we just want to saute our onion until it's like nice and translucent, okay? And it's going to look kind of like this. When you're done, your onions are going to look like that. And now next we're going to add in our rice, and I'm going to be using a long grain rice. You can use a long grain rice. I'm actually using a jasmine rice. It's nice long grains, exactly what I need, and so jasmine rice is what I'm using, but you definitely want to use a long grain rice. When you're making this casserole, it's going to hold up better in the casserole. And this is 1.5 cups of the rice that we put into our pan, and you want to go on and mix it around and saute it. My fire is on a medium heat because we don't want to burn our rice, but we do want to toast it up a bit, and we want to do that because we want to bring out more flavor from the rice in our overall dish, as well as it's going to bring out that nuttiness that comes in the rice, and it's just going to add such a wonderful balance and robust flavor to our dish. And so we're going to give our rice time to get a little toasty before we add in our garlic. So now our rice has nice and toasted up. It's looking really good. And now we're going to add those 3 cloves of minced garlic. And then once we add the 3 cloves of minced garlic, we're only going to saute the garlic that we added in there. We're just going to saute our pan for about another minute, okay? Because we don't want to burn our garlic, but we do want to kind of bring out that flavor and take off some of the rawness of the garlic. So just saute it for about a minute or so. And in the description box below where it says show more, I will have a list of all the ingredients you need to make this delicious cheesy broccoli rice casserole. Now, once we've toasted everything, we're going to add in our thickener, and that's going to be flour. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of flour. You put in 1 tablespoon, mix everything around because we don't want the flour to clump up and stick to any of the rice. So you put in your first tablespoon of flour and stir, and then we just added now our second tablespoon of our flour, and that's regular all-purpose flour that I'm using, and stir just like that. And then we're going to just stir and saute the flour because we want to kind of cook off some of that raw flour taste. So you want to go on and saute this for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then while I'm doing this, my flame is on a medium. You can even do a medium high, but you don't want your flame too high because you don't want your garlic and your other ingredients to start to burn on you. And so a nice medium to medium high heat is what you want to do. So once we've done the about 5 minutes and we've sauteed everything and our flour has kind of cooked off that raw flour taste, then we're adding in our chicken stock. And you can use either chicken stock or you can use chicken broth, okay? And you can also use a low sodium chicken stock or chicken broth if you like. And we're gonna be using 32 ounces of chicken stock, and that's what I'm using today. And when you're adding in your chicken stock, you wanna stir because you don't want to have any of the clumps from the flour. And also any flour that happens to be sticking to your rice, you wanna make sure that you're dissolving that, and you're just gonna create a nice slurry is what we're doing. And so just go on and keep mixing as you are pouring in your chicken stock or your chicken broth, whichever one that you are using, just like I'm doing. And just move all around the pot with your spoon, just like that, back and forth. You're lifting up any fond or anything that happens to be at the bottom of your pot. Just lift it up just like that. Now, once we've mixed everything all around, we're going to give it a little taste and see how we are at with our seasoning and see how we're doing. And at this point, you can go on and add some salt if you like. And it needs a little bit of salt, okay? So I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon. That was 1 teaspoon of regular coarse kosher salt that I added. And if you don't have kosher salt, you can go on and add regular table salt and just go on and add it to your taste. Now, once we do that, I went on and I cranked up the heat just a little bit. And then once I start to see just a small simmer, we're going to put the top on our pot, let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes because this is going to allow the rice to cook, okay? And now while the rice is cooking, I'm going to go on and grate our cheese. And I'm using a medium cheddar cheese, but you can also use a sharp cheese. So you can use either the medium cheddar like I'm using, or if you prefer sharp cheese, you can definitely use that in the casserole instead. And this was an 8-ounce block, and the 8-ounce block is going to give us 2 cups of nice grated cheese. So you're going to need 2 cups of this grated cheese. We're going to use 1 3/4 cup. We're going to use it inside of our casserole. The other 1/4 cup, we're going to save it for the garnish on top. So our rice has been cooking for about 20 minutes. It's going to look like this, where it's going to be nice and creamy. You're still going to have some liquid, okay? You're going to have a little liquid. It's not going to be totally dry. You want to have some liquid, and it's going to be nice and creamy. And then what we do is we add in our half and half. And then once we add in our half and half, go on and mix everything around and incorporate the rice mixture and the half and half together. And at this point, I also go on and I turn off my fire, okay? So we're going to go on and we're going to turn off our fire, and we're going to add in that broccoli, that nice cooked broccoli that we had. And it's been draining because we didn't want any excess liquid. We don't want to introduce any excess liquid into our casserole. So you make sure that you go on and drain that broccoli really well. Now, after we add in the broccoli, we're going to add in our cheese, and we're actually going to add in 1 1/2 cups of the cheese. I believe I said 1 3/4 cup, but actually it's 1 1/2 cups of the cheese. We're going to save the other 1/2 cup of cheese. And then in addition to that, we also added in 1/2 cup of the shredded Parmesan cheese, okay? Now don't worry though, because remember, in that description box below, you're going to have a list of the ingredients and it'll be all spelled out for you. And then you want to blend all of your ingredients together until your cheese melts, okay? And the reason why you want to turn your fire off is because sometimes if you add your cheese while your fire is on, the cheese could start to break down and become kind of grainy. And so it's best to turn your fire off like we did and then add the cheese. Now while I'm doing this, we have our oven on 400 degrees and our casserole is going to bake from 20 to 25 minutes on 400 degrees until it becomes nice and bubbly. And so our casserole dish, I've put 1 tablespoon of butter, and you can use either salted or unsalted butter, and that was 1 tablespoon that I buttered my 9x13 casserole dish with. Put all of your ingredients right into your casserole dish, and then you want to spread out your rice, your broccoli, your whole mixture. You want to spread it out evenly. Now we're going to be topping our casserole dish with the rest of the grated cheese that we reserved, which was the 1/2 cup, and we're also going to put 1/4 cup more of the Parmesan cheese. And in addition to that, you can also add a nice breadcrumb topping, and in the description box below I'll have a list of the ingredients if you'd like to add a nice buttery breadcrumb topping to your casserole dish as well. Now, once you've added all your toppings to your casserole dish, instead of baking it, if you were going to take it to family and friends and you wanted to bake it there, you would just go on and cover it in foil, take it to family or friends' home, and then you could go on and bake it in the oven, because it's going to bake in the oven at 400 degrees from 20 to 25 minutes until it's nice bubbly and hot. And in the last 5 minutes of that bake time, I like to take the foil off my casserole and just let it bake for that last 5 minutes without the foil on top. And if you're topping your casserole dish with the breadcrumbs, you want to give it 10 minutes to bake without the foil on top. And that way you give your breadcrumbs a chance to become nice and golden brown. Our oven is nice and preheated. I'm going to put our casserole in there. I'm going to bake up our casserole and we're going to see how we did. So our casserole is all done. It has baked in our oven for 25 minutes at 400 degrees. It is nice, hot, and bubbly. I have made a wonderful roast chicken to go with our cheesy broccoli rice casserole. This is going to be such a lovely dinner tonight for the family. And this right here, this is our wonderful side dish. Oh, it's still really hot. This is going to go great with our roast chicken tonight. Right there, that bite right there is for y'all. Go ahead and take your bite. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to see how we did. It's looking so cheesy and delicious, y'all. The broccoli, oh my goodness. I think we did a good job, y'all. Oh, wow. This side dish never disappoints. It is so good, and it comes together so nicely as well. I hope you give this recipe a try. We have Easter coming up, and this is just going to be a great side dish for your nice Easter dinner. Well, that is all for me today, guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go on and hit that subscribe button. If you like this video and appreciate the content, don't forget to show it some love. Give it a thumbs up and click share. And share this video with a friend or a family. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.